Welcome to Bharat Marg. Vinay Ji, thank you for joining with us. Political analyst Vinay Ji with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Friends, we are going to discuss about something very important. That is Trump winning US election. There is a big twist. Okay, what's that? Okay, and what Trump said about PM Modi and why he said what he said. We will ask him. Vinay Ji, he says he is my friend. He's the nicest guy you can say. But when it comes to India, he says no, I can handle it. And that too, he goes on to his own tone, like Modi. Like a lion voice. I don't know. You guys saw the video. Just check out how it is unbelievable. What he has to say about India and Modi, and what is a big twist, and how the US election panning out. And let's talk to Vinay Ji. But before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, subscribe the channel Bharat Marg, and also press the notification bell to stay connected with us. And also, we are involved in many of the services like Sanskrit teaching, Vedic mathematics teaching, and wedding alliances, helping you with the wedding alliances, and many more seva activities. And if you are happy with what you are doing, if you can support us by contacting us in the WhatsApp, and also going to www.bharatmark.com and pressing the donate now button, and also by supporting and sharing this video with as many people. Let's talk to Vinayji to know what's happening on the ground, and what are the chances, how all of a sudden the Kamala Harris was on the front running, and it was said, all the liberal media said, that's it, she is the next PM. And from there, how she slided down and why. Let's talk to Vinayji. Vinayji, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Ji.
Yeah, so who is the next POTUS for US?
Uh, my feeling is Trump is going to come to power, and there's a reason why he needs to come to power as a U.S. president, because I mean the policies of Kamala Harris and the Democrats is extremely questionable right now. What they've done to the United States is they've hurt the economy. They have destroyed the superpower that they were once. And the other thing is they were actually been, I would say, indirectly responsible for the two wars that are happening globally. One is the Israel and Palestine, and the other one is the Ukraine and Russia, which could have been prevented. But both these wars, I won't blame the United States directly, but they could have prevented this war had there been a good president, a good leader in the United States. And then you come to the immigration policy. United States has pretty much opened up the border for anybody and everybody to go into the United States, and it's unfortunate that people are taking total advantage of the system, and Democrats are looking at the other way, and saying, hey, you know what, they come in, sure, no problem, and then they basically are creating vote banks by actually giving them the all the the tools to kind of uh, naturalize themselves in the United States. So basically, they're giving them the documents, the paperwork, and all of that to help them out in this. So this is causing a huge problem, I would say, for the United States. And end of the day, the whole idea of Democrats being inclusive, quite liberal, and all of that is really not working, because what they did in the last 4 years, I don't see them changing anything in the next 4 years by Kamala Harris coming to power. She was the vice president of the United States, for God's sake. And she keeps saying, in many of the debates that I saw, or sorry, in many of her press statements, in the one debate that I saw recently, she kept saying, oh, if I come to power, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do. But why have you not done it so far? It's been 4 years since you were in the office. So this is the unfortunate thing that people have to understand. that Kamala Harris is just a talking machine. She's not. She memorizes everything. She comes and just blurts it out. But when you ask her some logical questions, or ask her to introspect and stuff like that, she can't, because she doesn't know beyond what she has memorized. So this is the unfortunate part of the Kamala Harris, why she should not come to power, and why Trump.
Vinay, she was attorney general, okay, for California. Means attorney general, of course, they will be pretty good in talking. But of course, she's
Yeah.
being said she was a girlfriend of a politician. How she got the job? There's another thing going on with her on that. We won't go there. But she's very poor for so-called attorney general.
Oh God, when she opens her mouth, her laugh, and it's hysterical, and it's like she laughs like a witch. And uh, and it's unfortunate to see the United States going into the hands of Kamala Harris, and it'll be a disaster if she comes to power. And I'll tell you that, basically the economy has already collapsed in the United States. The United States is already on the brink of recession, and the inflation is in huge numbers, and the cost of living, the cost of goods, everything has gone up in the hands of these Democrats. And uh, and and she can't even make a sentence. Like I said, she is absolutely incoherent, and she's like Joe Biden, exactly like Joe Biden. Joe Biden was incoherent. Like, you ask him a question, he stops and pauses and stuff like that. That's exactly what Kamala Harris is. Like, I don't see any difference between her and Joe Biden. Joe Biden, I can understand. His age is caught up, and he's kind of a bit of, in a delusional state, actually. But not Kamala Harris. She's younger, but when she opens her mouth, she talks like that. What do you do?
But what do you think is the main reason? The one of the things what is today there was an astonishing poll, okay, and one of the liberal anchor, I am talking about liberal anchor, was discussing about in last 1 month, her unfavorability has increased tremendously. You know, people don't like her. She is underwater, as they say. Favorability to unfavorability. What do you think? In 1 month, she was said, though she's the next president, to now here is she who can lose because she's almost sliding in the poll every day by day. What
Yeah,
do
I
you
mean, like,
think?
as soon as Biden stepped out and she entered the race, the poll results, the leading national polls showed that she was at 49%, and Donald Trump was at 46%. Okay, and that was, she saw a bounce in her polling numbers in the first few weeks of her campaign, building a lead of nearly 4% percentage points towards the end of August. But the numbers have been relatively stable, since early September, and even after the only debate between the two candidates on 10th September, which was watched by nearly 70 million people. And you can see how little the race has changed nationally in the last few weeks in the poll tracker chart below, with the trend line showing the averages and the dot showing the individual poll results for each candidate. I'm just talking about the BBC's narrative, because BBC is a third party. They're not a United States media, because every media in the United States is biased either
Yeah,
towards
means
Trump or against Trump,
even
mostly against Trump.
even BBC is, and they have their own agendas.
Yeah, possible. I'm just saying that I just took BBC as an example because BBC is a third party, right? Because they're not directly in the United States. And if you look at the six or seven swing states, these are the decisive swing states, right? So Nevada, it's showing that Harris is losing by is losing. And then Wisconsin, they're showing that Harris is losing again. Michigan is showing that Harris is losing. Pennsylvania is showing Harris is losing. North Carolina is showing that Trump is gained by a +1. Georgia is showing that he is gained by +1. Arizona is showing that he is gained by +2. So if you look at it overall, it shows that Trump is gaining ground.
And Kamala Harris is losing it. Absolutely.
Right.
And how do you see in the last year, does she have any time left over to salvage her campaign?
See, the thing is, you got to understand that I feel for Kamala Harris, okay, because she entered the race kind of at the last minute because it was Joe Biden all the way, and to prepare for elections, to get into the elections, and just to win an election, you need to prepare. You need to do your homework for at least 2 years. See, in the United States, the term of the president is only 4 years, and the first 2 years he's basically implementing policies and doing whatever, right? But the last 2 years he's again focused on the next elections. This is the unfortunate part in the United States. But Kamala Harris didn't get that chance because Joe Biden was working on it, and Joe Biden was not actively working on it because he was delusional, like I said. And then last few months, they saw after the debate that happened between Joe Biden and Trump, the obviously the caucus in the United States, the Democratic caucus, probably saw that this man is not fit to be the United States president again. So they brought in Kamala Harris at the last minute, and there was a change of brigade, obviously. And now Kamala Harris is got very few months left because the December.
Yeah, but
So
if
got
I
only
were if
December.
I were Kamala Harris, I am not going to worry too much because she got all the money that Biden collected, so
No,
that
no,
she
no,
can
no. See,
run
the
ads
money,
as much
money
as
is
she
not
wants.
the only thing, right? It's
Yeah, but it
also
is a big thing.
it is. But what I'm trying to say is, money doesn't buy votes in the United States. Okay, at least as far as I know. All right, you don't go to the common people and say, "Hey, here's a bottle of brandy, and here's a dress for you, so you vote for me." That doesn't work in the United States. Okay, so what works in the United States is actually putting a face to the name. Okay, most people in the United States didn't even know Kamala Harris, although she was the vice president for 4 years. All right, the name is not, it doesn't ring a bell for many people. And people vote when they go to the voting machine. They look at the names on the thing, right? And they see that, oh, this one is Kamala Harris's party. I don't know who this person is. So you know what, I'm familiar with Trump, so vote for Trump. So this is what works in the United States, unfortunately. And she has not done enough campaigning because she doesn't have the time to go across the United States, because the United States is a huge country geographically, right? So that's another issue with that. So and Trump has no limit for money, and he's been campaigning for the last 4 years. Ever since he lost the previous elections, he's been campaigning. It's not just he jumped into the fray, last 2 years. So last 4 years he's been campaigning. So he's got a way like a head start against Kamala Harris.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, how do you think her policies are affecting? Because many of the things that is being dug inside, like her VP looks to be a communist fellow who supported communist policies, and she herself has been in a lot of scams and other things. Her name is as a border curse. Curse. She opened up the border for all the illegals to come inside and all the criminals to come inside and shoot, and all the apartments getting invaded by the um, aliens from outside. So how do you see these things will impacting her race?
Well, the thing is, her policies are completely skewed. Okay. The issue with her policies is she keeps saying, "Oh, when I come to power, I'll do this, do that, and whatever." But for God's sake, she was the vice president of the United States for the last 4 years. Now, if she could not do it in those last 4 years, what do you expect her to do in the next 4 years? So that is the problem, right?
And she also says, in other hand, that Biden, for Biden's all his work, I only took care.
Exactly, exactly. And she had a lot of control, especially in the last year and a half. She pretty much took over the administration of the government, because Biden was not in a coherent state of mind that he could run the administration so well, right? So they wanted her help, and she put in all the help, but she was extremely cautious in taking any decisions, any um, proper decisions that would help the United States and the United States people. And her immigration policies are completely skewed. Her policies, or her plan to kind of come up with the thing is, she was, every time people have asked her a question, she keeps saying that, oh, I come from a middle class family and I do this and blah blah. But for that doesn't work. You got to have some plan, some policies that you want to bring in place, right? So if you
This
don't have
reminds
a
me.
plan in place,
This reminds me about Rahul Gandhi's interview with Arnab 2 elections back. You know,
exactly.
everything you will say woman security, woman thing. No,
Exactly. She keeps talking about that. And then she keeps saying that she wants to bring in some, now she's offering money to people, right? So it's exactly what happened in Indian elections, by saying, the Katakat Bank that worked very, very well for Rahul Gandhi. I mean, I'm being ironic. And that's what she's trying to do. She's saying that, oh, once I come to power, then I'm going to make sure that the people, certain people below poverty line or whatever, they get monthly so many X amount of dollars. And she's basically now trying to bribe people to vote for her. Are these going to work? Are these policies going to work? I don't think so. I
absolutely,
hope not.
absolutely.
I hope not.
Absolutely. It's a massive. How do you think the Indian community will vote? Yeah, means let me talk to you about this. He talks about Modi that way. What kind of impact it will have? You have seen that he's saying he's nicest fellow and how strong and courage he is, and when he talks about when the interviewer asks about sharks. Many politics is a crowded place of sharks, and he talks about no. You see PM Modi, who is one of the nicest fellows you will
Yeah,
ever
if
meet.
you recall, about 4.5 years ago, when Modi went to Texas, when Trump was the president, they organized an event called Howdy Texas, right? So that actually brought in so many people. I think more than 50, 60,000 people. The stadium was full, and there were people even sitting outside the stadium, actually watching the big screen television. And Trump saw the popularity of Modi, because I mean, for Trump to pull in that much crowd, it's impossible. Okay, in Canada, in the United States, in the Western world, when they go for these campaign rallies and stuff like that, they are hardly able to bring in about 200-300 people, maybe 1,000 people at the most, right? But
Thousand is big.
when you have to fill up a stadium full of people in a country that is not even yours, it's like Modi doesn't belong to the United States. Modi is from India, and to bring in so many people, it's just amazing, actually. And same thing when of course, when Modi does his rallies in India, you'll have more than 100-200,000 people, depending on the capacity of the stadium or wherever they're organizing. So that he saw the difference, and that's when he knew that this man is a world leader. He's a popular leader. Wherever he goes, he has fan following. Okay, so that is significant for Trump, and that's why he has a soft corner for Modi, and not only for Modi, but also for the Indian diaspora that lives in the United States.
Uh, I'll say he never talks about Indian. He talks about Hindu. You remember NDTV one time was keep on pressing. Oh,
Yeah,
you talking about Indians? He said no. I talk about Hindus.
yeah, that
That's
is
what.
true. Yeah, exactly.
And
Because
how?
the
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because the end of the day, right? he recognizes that there are certain factors in the among the Indian community that are not the best. I mean, like, I'm talking about Khalistanis, then there are some Muslim organizations and certain other organizations that are against him. So rather than saying Indians, he kind of is probably trying to be, pro-Hindu or whatever.
Wow. I wish many of the politicians do that. But one last question to you: how big could be his winning, or how narrow it could be? What do you think? Your final word. And
The right
what
now,
kind of impact this will have on American and the world economy and world life? How
yeah.
it will affect the Middle East, which is already in the war, and Russia, Ukraine. What do you see in this?
No, no.
Just the last word.
Right now, the way things are going neck to neck with the popularity rating, because I don't know who to believe. Right? It's like there is a bunch of media that actually says, "Okay, Trump is winning," and then there's a bunch of media that says, "Oh, Harris is winning," and blah blah blah. But the end of the day, what is important for us to understand uh, is Trump more popular than Harris or not? Okay, in many of the states, Trump is popular. I'm going to say, Michigan, North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Arizona, Georgia, Florida. Florida is he's popular there. Okay, 50.8 versus 44.8. Okay, and then Pennsylvania, and Nevada, and Montana, Ohio, Iowa, North Dakota, South Carolina, Alaska, Indiana, Nebraska, not Nebraska, sorry, and many such states. He is extremely popular, right? So the thing is, end of the day, who do we believe? Like, where are these polls coming from, and what do you need, right? So that's what we got to look at that. And end of the day, I again, it's difficult to say how much he's going to win by, but I am saying that he will win, but depends on, I mean, like, how people come out to vote on November.
And how big, what kind of impact it can bring on the world,
Well,
economically,
I
otherwise?
think, you know what, the media, even when he was the president the previous term, that when there was so much media baiting and false narrative against him and stuff like that. They made him look like a dictator. They made him look like a guy that should not be appreciated, and his popularity rating started falling right because of that. But end of the day, when the elections happened, he actually was neck to neck with Joe Biden, and something happened in Florida, which I don't know, and I don't want to go into that. And unfortunately, he lost, and his people did not accept that result. But it is what it is. So this time, I hope it doesn't happen like that, and it's a clear win for Trump.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Vinay Ji, for coming in and sharing your thoughts, friends. U.S. election, big things are happening. There is a huge twist. One who was leading, that was Kamala Harris, after her late entry into the poll, is now started to lag in many places. And it's a big news. And also, he pricing Trump is very close to Modi. And whereas Kamala Harris, you know how the liberals are. Just now we spoke about Justin Trudeau, and these guys are the same. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whether you are in any part of the world, liberals want to please the Rakshas and doesn't work with the Sanatanis. Anyway, thank you very much, Vinayji.
Thank you,
Looking
Jake.
forward to seeing you again. Appreciate it. Friends, do comment and let us know your opinion. And looking forward to seeing you and talking to you very, very soon. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Jai Sri Krishna.